and I accidentally slipped, and it just went out, that hurt my finger, out, like this, and I'm going, okay, that is really weird. I can't imagine what that's like to live with every day. Yeah.
He's completely, like literally in his sport, like he's completely with it, but like his body even,
Yeah.
he tries to, like you said, I'm like, go try, but like, it does not.
And yeah, and I think a lot of times it is the thought that, because see, when we purposely do something, our brain is thinking that, you know. A reflex, totally different. The reflex comes from the level of the spinal cord where that stimulus went in. So that is something that is automatic. It's stereotyped. In other words, the reaction I'm going to have is the same reaction you're going to have. They're not learned. Okay? It is just simply what it says. It's just a reflex. And so, you know, we have our intentional movement, and we have that reflex that can occur. And this is giving you an idea of the different tracks that exist for that information coming down. Once again, letting us know the area of the brain where something may start and the point of the body where it ends. Like spinal. It's letting us know it ends at the spine. Okay? So I would not ask you each of these names. I would not give you a test question and say, where is the lateral reticulospinal tract? I wouldn't do that to you. Okay? But as long as you're understanding about the origin and destination, okay, of either something ascending or descending. All right? Now, the next part that we're going to move into for today, anatomy of either the nerve or the ganglia. The nerve, don't forget, that's the part that's exiting. Okay? So, does it look familiar? Like the muscle. Because once again, we're dealing with fibers, but this time, those are my axons, okay? And they are going to be in bundles, just like fibers of the muscle were, okay? So they're in bundles, which will be wrapped. Then you'll have a bunch of bundles together, which will make it up, and they're all wrapped, okay? Once again, if we think about how it's been so far with the body, 3, 3, 3, 3, okay? Once again, 3 wrappings. So, this cord-like, based on those axons, okay, composed of those nerve fibers, axons, I'll keep saying that, okay? They get bound together by those connective tissues. Spinal nerves are termed mixed, all right? Because we have information that moves in and information that moves out. Do you guys remember afferent, efferent? Okay, so because that nerve that comes out of those vertebrae, all right, have to carry both sensory, because remember it's split, okay? And sensory went to the posterior, all right, motor from anterior, okay? It has to, that one nerve though, has to carry both, all right? It has to carry that information in, split, go to posterior, has to get it from anterior, come back and join and come out, okay? So they're called mixed because they carry the information in both directions. The general anatomy, for the most part, When we talk about, now there's a term getting introduced here, peripheral. Spinal nerves, because they exit through the vertebra and meet an area of the body, they are considered peripheral, to the outside. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. This is the periphery of our body, okay? Median. Spinal cord is right down through the median, all right? But a spinal nerve has to exit and travel all the way around the periphery of our body, okay? So they are termed the peripheral nervous system, because that's what they're doing. They're going to the periphery. They are covered by the myelin sheath, which I keep mentioning. Schwann cells give rise to the myelin sheath. Once again, 1, 2, 3 coverings. Endo, peri, epi. Endo inner, peri middle, epi to the outside. These are connective tissue wrappings. Endo is going to be connective tissue that will be closest to the fibers. Peri would be the middle. Epi, that whole outer portion of that nerve. So let's go back to our picture. This right here is representing our nerve fibers, those little yellow parts, okay? And if we get a group of those, they'll be surrounded by connective tissue. We get several groups together, they're surrounded by the peri, and then once we have a whole grouping that we need to create that nerve, they're surrounded by epi. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. The other thing about nerves, very well vascularized. They have a good blood supply. So we do see that they have a really good blood supply.
I think a lot of people with, especially diabetics and stuff, with peripheral vascular disease, and like their toes and stuff start falling out, and just everything. Like, this is why pretty much, because the circuit, they're not getting any blood flow.
Yeah.
Their whole peripheral nerve system, like, nothing.
Diabetes. Do you know anyone who has diabetes? Huh? Family member? And which one?
Like, I work on the cardiothoracic floor, so we see like cardiac, thoracic, we see a lot of vascular patients.
Yes.
So we see a lot of patients with like diabetes and just with like vascular flow.
Now, we know there's like type 1, type 2, okay? We tend to associate diabetes with, of course, the pancreas, the insulin, the sugar, the glucose, that sort of thing. But diabetes affects multiple organs, okay? It doesn't just affect one part of the body. It is a multi-organ issue. And something that I wish I could get my eye doctor in here to explain it, because he has studied it at length and the effects it has on the retina. Because, you know, the blood flow to the retina is huge. And one of the things that can happen with people who suffer from diabetes is they can have retina problems in addition to everything else. And it's the blood flow. And I will have to see if he can sit down and talk to me about it again, because he was explaining to me how diabetes is a vascular.
I've heard about it say that before too.
Yeah, and I mean, I understood what he was saying, But because I think for so long I have had the other ideas about diabetes in the process that I didn't quite grasp it. And within that little short visit, that wasn't enough time for me to fully grasp it. I'll call him. Okay, dude, you gotta have a seat. Sit down with me and talk to me about this.
It does make sense though, that it's vascular.
It is a vascular problem. So, yeah. And it's why people who let it go unchecked, people who do suffer from it, people who can't get it under control, you might see them losing body parts.
When you say they can't get it under control because of choices that they're making, or like what they're eating,
Not all the time. Not all the time.
Their systems working inside.
Even in type 2, it used to be that type 1 was the only one that people associated with people with it not being under control. But they now know that type 2 can be very type 1-like, and even people making their proper life choices and that sort of thing still can't get it under control. And they suffer the same effects as somebody with type 1. Yeah.
I know a lot of them lost like some of their vision.
Yes. Because according to my eye doctor, and I didn't know this, because the eye wasn't my specialty, but he knows what I teach. So, he loves for me to come in and he's like, oh, what are you teaching now? Blah, 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 blah. He says that the retina actually is an area for blood filtration. I was like, what? It's like, no, It's going to be your kidneys. It's going to be the skin. It's not the retina. He's like, you know how they take like that picture of the back of your eye, okay? He's like, come here, let me show you. So we pull up the picture and everything, and he's like, you see that and that and that? And he's telling me about how it filters and different diseases related to it and all this. Oh, well, okay.
Have you ever studied iridology? It actually tells you why it does all of that. And like it even links the eye to like the different parts of your body. And like people who actually pay to go to iridologists usually detect all of their issues quicker than people who actually go to the regular PCPs and doctors and stuff like that.
Wow.
Iridology. Iridology.
I-R-I.
And it breaks it down into like the different patterns and
Well,
it's like really, really cool.
macular degeneration. I'm not sure if any of y'all know about that, but you kind of, like as we get older, okay? And some of that is actually related to how the cholesterol deposits in the eye, the retina of the eye. I mean, it's like amazing. Okay, so once again, mixed nerves, information in, effects out. So we're going to, this point right here. So before you leave for today, I want to see how much we've learned. So we got about 20 minutes. I want y'all to work on these. And then we'll see what we learned for today.